The Oscars are this Sunday. You know what that means? It's time for our final winner predictions. Before we get started, make sure to leave a like as it does help me out a lot. But let's get to our first category, which is the biggest category of the night, Best Picture. Before we get started, my predictions, these are predictions. They might be wrong, so that's all right. Leave your own predictions in the comments if they're different. I'd love to see, your different reasoning for them. But for Best Picture, I didn't show all 10 because, it's not really going to be between all 10 after all these award shows have happened. SAG, Golden Globe, BAFTAs, all those award shows have happened, so we can kind of finalize of who it's going to be. I'm only showing 5 right here, and I don't even think it's going to be between 5. It's only really going to be between these 3 top movies: Conclave, The Brutalist, or Anora. And what's interesting about the Oscar voting, which is, the voting is kind of the same as some other things you'd vote for in life. It is ranked choice voting, so they're going to be ranking all 10 movies what they like to win. Number 1, the most likely, the one they want to win, and then number 10, the one they don't want to win. So, you can have a lot of people having Anora at number 1, The Brutalist at number 1, Dune at number 1, or some people could have Anora all the way at number 10. So it really does, make things a little bit more interesting. Some people do like ranked choice voting. I don't really have a problem with it. But right now, I do have Anora in first place. I do think that this is the strongest movie right now. It is, one of my favorite movies of last year. I wouldn't have a problem with it winning. I would rather want The Brutalist to win, as I think that movie just, meant so much for cinema and how they did make it on such a low budget, how it is so, monumental. I just love that movie. Anora, though, I think is a really great movie. It does such a great job of being an emotional movie, a very funny movie, a movie that moves such at a fast pace like Sean Baker's other movies. I think his time has finally come. But Conclave has, been steadily rising these last few weeks. The SAG Awards were just last week, and it did win this Best SAG Ensemble, which if Anora won Best SAG Ensemble, I would have been more confident. It would have been like, Anora's taken it, but the thing is about that, I do not know, because Anora's won so many other awards. Conclave has won so many other awards at the BAFTAs and all that. So it's kind of between these 3 for me. I feel like if The Brutalist does win, I would be kind of surprised. I would be like, oh wow, big shocker. But at the same time, it's gotten such heavy reviews, and some anonymous ballot people have put it at their number 1, number 2. But this one, I think that we can easily say probably Anora or Conclave. But right now, I'm going to go with Anora, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's Conclave or The Brutalist, but I'm like 70% sure that Anora will win Best Picture. Now for Best Director, I changed it up just a little bit. I still have Brady Corbet at number 1 for The Brutalist. As I said, he has made this movie on such a limited budget. He's come out and said he hasn't really made any money for this movie at all. And he also did win at the Golden Globes for this one. Sean Baker, though, he could still win this award. I'm really like, I think I'm like 60-40 on Best Director, 60 Brady Corbet, 40 Sean Baker. Sean Baker has won a lot of awards these past few weeks. Brady Corbet has lost a little bit of steam, hasn't won many other awards. James Mangold, I really put him in number 3 just because, the awards voters seem to really enjoy Complete Unknown. So did I. But I think that this one, I don't think it's down to a top 3. I think it's down to that top 2 between Brady Corbet and Sean Baker. I really could go either way with this one. If you put Sean Baker at number 1, I think that's a great choice. If you put Brady Corbet at number 1, like I did, I think it's another great choice. I really don't know, though. I think we're gonna have a lot of awards this night go down to the wire. Probably be like between like single votes about whoever won. But for right now, I'm pretty confident that Brady Corbet will win. But if Anora does end up, taking picture, you gotta wonder what its package will be. Will it be a picture only? Will it be picture director actress? Will it be picture director actress screenplay? It's gonna be interesting. But for right now, Best Director, I'm sticking with Brady Corbet for The Brutalist. For Best Actress, I'm keeping Carla all the way at the bottom. She's not gonna win. We do not want her there. Cynthia Erivo, comfortably number 4. Right here, it's between the top 3. Fernando Torres, I'm Still Here, amazing performance. Demi Moore, The Substance, another fantastic performance. And Mikey Madison for Anora. Right here, I decided to pick Mikey Madison for Anora. We have a lot of international voters going out for Fernando Torres. I think that she is excellent. She might be my favorite out of this list. I'm kind of, they're all kind of tied for me. They're such great performances. Demi Moore, though, at number 2. I really do think this is between Mikey Madison or Demi Moore. You know, it's really hard to go between three people, so that's why I'm only going between two at the moment. Because between three, you're doing a lot of splitting of the votes. You know, Demi Moore, she just won the SAG. Mikey Madison, she just won I think she won the BAFTA, if I can remember that correctly. So yeah, we're really at an interesting pace right here. I don't know, you know, it's kind of confusing to me, some of these awards and how the award season is played out, because usually you have a strong sense of who's going to win, like for picture and all that. For acting, we know who's going to win the supporting awards, which we'll get to. But for the main, you know, best actress, best actor, it's really hard to predict these. Mikey Madison, you know, she might be too new into the Oscar framing, you know, too new in this, you know, really, you know, big movies like this. Demi Moore, though, she's been around for a long time, so you might have a lot of voters voting for her because she's been in the industry for so long, maybe like pulling like a Brendan Fraser type of thing. I wouldn't be surprised, but you know, The Substance does have an issue. Maybe some voters really don't like horror movies. Maybe they just didn't like it. Substance, it was mostly, I think it was majority liked it, but you're gonna have that small crowd of maybe older audiences that weren't feeling it, so they'd probably like a Nora. You know, it's gonna go down to the wire, but I'm still gonna take Mikey Madison for a Nora. Another tough one right here is gonna be Best Actor. It's between the top two. Once again, it's only going to be between two here. Ray Fiennes, he's excellent in Conclave, but I just don't think that he has enough, you know, backing behind him. It's going to be between Timothée Chalamet or Adrien Brody. Timothée Chalamet just surprisingly took home the SAG. I was not predicting that. I was predicting Adrien Brody because Timothée Chalamet hasn't really won anything this award season. So that's why I think I'm still going to go with Adrien Brody. I know it's kind of like the basic choice. I would be fine if either of them won. You know, I loved both their performances. Two of my favorite performances from last year. Complete Unknown, Timothée Chalamet completely disappeared into this role. He spent like 5 years working on this. Adrien Brody in The Brutalist completely carries that movie. He has such an emotional performance. People might say it's the same performance as The Pianist, but I think that this is better. I think this is his best performance yet. You have two of the best performances of their careers with Timothée and Adrien. So, you know, it's a very, very hard process here to pick one of these. Adrien Brody, he's already won one. People say, oh no, I'm not going to vote for someone who already won one. I think that's an idiotic statement. Timothée Chalamet, if he won this would be his first Oscar. He'd also be the youngest male actor to win Best Actor, just beating out Adrien Brody, who was the youngest to win. But yeah, I think Adrien Brody is still the strongest here in my opinion. I feel like he, like Demi Moore, he's been in the industry for so long. Timothée Chalamet's also been in the industry for a long time, but Adrien Brody has been there a little bit longer. Yeah, and I just think Adrien Brody has a stronger movie, so I'm gonna back that stronger movie and pick Adrien Brody to win the Oscar this year. I don't want to spend a lot of time on these best supporting performances. Supporting actress, it's probably going to be Zoe Saldana. She's been sweeping at every other award show. I'd want it to be Ariana Grande or Monica for A Complete Unknown, but sadly, there's just been no competition. I don't really know why they're voting for Zoe Saldana. Sure, it's an okay performance in a terrible movie, but I don't know, but Zoe Saldana easily locked it up. For Best Supporting Actor, another one, Kieran has just been sweeping the award shows. He's been given some amazing speeches, some really funny ones too. He's very good at that. It's very cool. He's going to have a lot of awards to his name. I think he's going to have some Golden Globes, some Emmys, and now an Oscar, so that's great for him. He should go for EGOT. You know, what are you going to do for EGOT, bro? He's got to do a couple more things. He could do it, man. Yeah, I think that he gave a great performance in this movie. He wouldn't be my pick. I'd still pick Guy Pearce. I think Guy Pearce was just phenomenal coming back in such a huge way. But yeah, I think it's going to be Kieran Culkin winning for A Real Pain. For Best International Feature, I need the voters to come through here. I need them to come through. We need I'm Still Here to win. I want I'm Still Here to win. I'm predicting I'm Still Here to win. Amelia Perez, they need to get out of here. We do not care about Amelia Perez. I've seen some voter ballots of anonymous voters, and they've been doing us dirty. They've been picking Amelia Perez for Best Picture, for Best Actress, for Carla. I'm like, what's going on here, guys? What are we doing? You have the clear winner right there, and I'm Still Here. I swear, some people have not seen this movie. It is so good. If you haven't had a chance to watch I'm Still Here, watch it. It's in some theaters, I would say. It's coming to digital probably after the Oscars. I do recommend that, but I'm gonna pick I'm Still Here to Win. I'm gonna predict it. I feel like the voters will come through. For best original song this year, it's a really weak lineup. You're not even having them perform any of these songs. I know Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo are gonna perform some Wicked songs, but that's not the same thing as the original songs. Like last year was such a good year. I'm Still Ken. They can't outdo that song at all. That was such a great performance by Ryan Gosling. So this year we got a very weak lineup. Oh my god, not even the challenger score. The best song here, sorry, the best song here isn't gonna win. Like a Bird, I think, is the best song from Sing Sing, but it's either going to be one of the Emilia Perez songs because Netflix paid the Academy for it to win. So I'm going to go with Elma for Emilia Perez to win best song. For best visual effects, this is one of my favorite categories, and this lineup this year is excellent. And Wicked also has some great visual effects, but the four on top of it, they look perfect in my eyes. Alien Romulus had some amazing visual effects with like the rings of the planet at the end of the movie, the weird creatures, the xenomorphs, a Better Man. Oh my gosh, the monkey VFX. I forget what company did the VFX for Better Man. I'm not gonna say it was Weta because I'm not really sure if it was Weta, but whoever did it did such a great job on the movement. Everything was so fluid. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, man, the Planet of the Apes movies have always just looked so great. They never have looked bad. I love that. But I'm still gonna go with Dune Part 2. I wouldn't be shocked if Kingdom Planet of the Apes won, but they've just always come up short. Every year they come out, they still have a stronger movie ahead of them. It's kind of funny, but it's also kind of sad. Dune Part 2, though, I think is the best looking movie that we had last year. You know, big budget movie and all that. And I'd still pick some smaller movies that look better, but Dune Part 2 has some amazing visual effects that you can't even see, also like the others. But I think Dune Part 2 is, what the Academy likes the most out of all these movies. So I'm gonna go Dune Part 2 for best visual effects. Best makeup and hairstyling, I think we're down to two here, either Nosferatu or The Substance. Those are two films with a lot of makeup. Bill Skarsgård, Nosferatu, The Substance looking crazy. I do think The Substance will come out as that true winner, though. That 80%. I'm easily picking that one. Like, if you haven't seen The Substance, you need to watch it because some of the makeup there is gnarly. Some of the makeup they put on Demi Moore, crazy. In the last 20, 15 minutes, oh, they are gnarly stuff, man. Whatever costumes and makeup design they got going there, I need to see some more of that. Whoever did the makeup for that movie, keep them employed for the rest of their lives. It was so good. So yeah, I think the Substance is going to win for best makeup. Best cinematography, one of my favorite awards. I really do like this lineup this year, except outside of number 5. We're not going to talk about that one. Maria has some fantastic shots always. Dune Part 2, one of my favorite shot movies of all time. I think it's terrific. Nosferatu, Jaron Blaschke is such a fantastic cinematographer. He was also nominated for The Lighthouse, but The Brutalist, I'm going to have The Brutalist right here because of Lowell Crawley. I love that name. I want him to win so I can hear them say that name on award show night, on Sunday night. And the Oscar goes to Lowell Crawley. Laugh out loud, Crawley. I love that name. It's such a great name. But yeah, I think The Brutalist is probably going to take it home. I could see an upset here with the Nosferatu, man. That would be pretty interesting. And Dune Part 2, though, is the one I'd pick to win, but The Brutalist look fantastic, man. Some of those shots are just seared into my brain and they look so good, so I'm gonna have The Brutalist for winning best cinematography. Now onto the screenplays. We have best adapted screenplay. I don't see a big competition here. I would have put Nickel Boys at number 2, but it just doesn't seem to be big enough with the Academy. It was only nominated in, I think it was 2 categories, this and picture. Complete Unknown has a lot more people backing it, a lot more nominations, so I put it at number 2. But I think Conclave is like 95% chance of taking it. I don't think anything's going to take it away from Conclave at this point. I haven't read the book at all, so I don't know how great the adaptation is from that. I've heard a lot of people say the book is terrific. The movie, I think, is still great. So yeah, I think Conclave is going to take best adapted screenplay. Now for best original screenplay, we have more of a competition here. Outside of The Brutalist, September 5, we can kind of just not look at those. We kind of have Anora, A Real Pain, and The Substance. The Substance, was gaining a little bit of traction for screenplay, but I just don't think it is as strong as those top two. I think this is truly between A Real Pain or Anora. You know, a lot of people have been loving A Real Pain. It's been winning a lot of awards for the screenplay. Anora, though, has also been winning. It's, you know, the front runner, as I said, for Best Picture at the moment. It could, you know, that could change in the next few days, you know. But if Anora wins screenplay, we have to, you know, think, will it win picture? I think if Anora does win screenplay, I think it is easily taking picture. If Anora loses screenplay to A Real Pain, I feel like there could be an issue, and then you could probably see, you know, shifting tides on Sunday night. Maybe you think Anora's not going to win picture if it doesn't take screenplay. So that's some interesting things to talk about when you're watching on Sunday. For me right now though, I'm still going to take Anora. I think Sean is such a strong writer. The comedy pretty much all lands for me, and it lands for a lot of other people. The emotional moments land, you know, the kind of the shifting of the tides in the movie, the three acts. I think those all land. Real Pain is more just a familiar kind of script that we've seen a couple times. It is a great script by Jesse Eisenberg. I think he nails it. But I think Anora is something that we don't see as often, so I'm going to have Anora winning for Best Original Screenplay. For Best Costume Design, another one that I think is pretty obvious, alongside another one that we're going to talk about after this one. It's probably going to be Wicked here. I'd love if it was Nosferatu. I do love Nosferatu's costumes more than Wicked, because I'm more of a period piece kind of person. Period costumes are so beautiful, so elegant. They just stand out more. Wicked's costumes remind me of Barbie. They are really nice to look at. They are all flashing off the screen. Each costume is very different. But, you know, a lot of people last year did think, you know, Barbie is going to win costumes, and I was sticking on Poor Things because it's more period-like. So, you know, maybe Nosferatu can do an upset. I'm not predicting Nosferatu, I'm predicting Wicked, but I'd be extremely happy if Nosferatu took this one home. But I think, you know, Wicked has a lot of nominations. Do I think it's going to win a lot? No, but I do think it's going to win these craft categories, so I'm going to take it for costume design. The same thing with Best Production Design. I'm also going to take Wicked here. I do think Dune Part 2 does deserve this one, because Dune, like, look at those sets, man. That is insane. I think everything just flowed. You know, it felt like everything was real, just like in Dune Part 1. Dune Part 1 actually took home pretty much, I think it was like almost all the craft awards that year that came out. But Wicked also, you know, it looks amazing. The sets there. I think Dune and Wicked for me are like tied on what I love so much about movies, is production design, building actual sets. Less green screen. I love those actual sets. The behind the scenes videos of both those movies, check those out if you haven't. You know, the tulips that they planted, you know, the Emerald City that they built. It's beautiful. So yeah, Wicked will probably win Best Production Design. For Best Sound, another one that I'm kind of torn on. I think it kind of goes down to the top three here, but I think Dune, I haven't been looking at the sound awards lately of what's been winning. I think I've heard that Dune's been winning most of all of them, which I think deservedly so. You know, the musicals, they usually win. They usually have that top dog over the other ones because they are musicals, a lot of instruments, a lot of singing and all that. But I think Dune is in a league of its own with the different sound effects going on, the deep basses and all that. I think it's just the sound editing on the Dune movies is just very impressive. So I'm taking Dune Part 2 for Best Sound. For Best Editing here, I know a lot of people have been switching Anora and Conclave. Which one will win out of those two? And you could also be thinking whoever wins this could win Best Picture. It all comes down to, you know, if Conclave wins Best Picture, if Anora wins Best Picture, what will their package be? Because what's interesting about this year compared to others, you know, usually a movie that wins Best Picture takes another couple awards. It's not really familiar with a movie winning Best Picture and not really having, you know, another award or two more awards in their bag. So it's kind of interesting. You know, if Conclave wins Best Picture, I think it might only have one or two more Oscars with it. Because I think Anora will win editing. I really think they want to award Sean Baker, especially because he is the one sole editor on this movie. Like, damn, bro edited this whole movie by himself. I think it is the best edited movie of the year. Conclave has some great editing, but Anora just flows so well because of how great its editing is. So I'm going to be taking Anora for best editing. For best score, one of my favorite categories of the year. I love score, whatever goes into a movie. Making the score is one of my favorite parts about filmmaking. You know, this year's score lineup is kind of disappointing in my eyes. Emilia Perez, Don't Care. Wicked, you know, the Wicked score really didn't do much for me. You know, when it was nominated, I was like, really? I went back and listened to it, and I'm still like, really? I love the music, the musical scenes, you know, the songs, but the score just didn't do much for me. The Wild Robot is a great score. Conclave is another great one, but I think you could have had some better options here, like Challengers, of course. I don't know how that missed. Maybe if Challengers came out in November, I don't know if that would have helped it or not. It sucks. A Different Man has a terrific score. Dune Part 2 wasn't eligible for, yeah, I really don't agree for the reasons it wasn't eligible, because you have a lot of other movies that, reuse songs and tracks. So yeah, this could have been such a better category. I feel like there's a lot of misses here. But for me, I think it's a pretty easy choice. I'm 100% believing that The Brutalist is going to win. It's just one of those scores, man. Like last year with Oppenheimer, one of those scores that I'm going to pop in. I don't care if I'm watching the movie, I'm still going to listen to that score. I've always thought a good score just, is a score that you want to listen to outside of the movie. It can work with the movie so well, but I feel like if the score isn't delightful to listen to without the movie, then it's not really like an Oscar winning type of score in my eyes. In my eyes, personally, you can have a different opinion, but it also does help the movie out. The Brutalist score is so great in some specific moments, and Daniel Bloomberg did some crazy job with some horns in this movie. Like, oh my god, that opening! Just from the first 5 to 10 minutes of the movie, that score is going to win the best Oscar. I watched it in theaters for the first time. I was like, they hit the ba bum bum, and I'm shooketh, man. I'm like, that's gonna win. So I think The Brutalist is gonna win Best Score. We have finally made it to the last award of the night, which is Best Animated Feature. Another one that I'm kind of 50-50 on is gonna be between these two movies, Flow or The Wild Robot. Who would I rather take it? I'd rather have The Wild Robot win it. I thought Flow was a really good movie. It's impressive how they made it on such a small budget. I think they made it in such a, minimal software, with just a couple people. That is great. The movie didn't really resonate with me too well. I think it looks amazing. How it just relies on no dialogue. Also pretty cool. Story, though, didn't really do much for me. The Wild Robot is more my type of film. Universal did such a good job with this one, pulling it out. The marketing was really good too. I think it did make a decent amount of money. I just think it is the strongest movie out of this category. Flow did take, I think it was the Golden Globe that Flow took over The Wild Robot. I don't think that that'll stop The Wild Robot from winning, but it might. That's why I'm like 50-50. I think either one of these will win. Just like with some other awards, if you told me The Wild Robot will win, I'll be fine. If you told me Flow won, oh, fine also. But right now, I'm predicting The Wild Robot to win Best Animated Feature at the Oscars. So yeah, those are all my final predictions for the Oscars this week. The winner predictions. Who will win? I don't know. These are my predictions, though. I'm not even confident on these, man. I'm like 60% confident on some of these. 80 if I'm lucky. The one I'm most confident on, I think, is like Best Score, Best Costume, Best Productions. I think those are the most obvious, because I know we're gonna have a couple, upsets, and I can't wait to talk about that on Monday morning. I'll probably have video out talking about that. But yeah, some of these upsets are probably gonna be insane. Who will win Best Picture? I don't know, man, but leave your own thoughts down below in the comments what you thought of my predictions. As I said in the intro, leave your own predictions down below with your own reasoning. I'd love to check it out. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you do leave a like, subscribe to the channel, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.